and I tried not using a separate keyboard for some time in the meanwhile, but that didn't end up quite well. It was then I realized I needed a separate keyboard. So then what? Just so to check if I like using a separate keyboard, I brushed the dust off my good old keyboard and took it out the shelf, plugged it in, started using it, and ever since that day, I never looked back. These wires made the desk look disorganized to a point that made everything look like a total mess. I wasn't sure if I could use this keyboard any longer. Of course it was still working, but the wires got loose and started disconnecting on me every now and then. I've had used it super intensively over the course of 3 years, but I have had enough. This is the keyboard that I have been using for the past 3.5 years. If you watch my content enough, chances are you have seen it in my videos, aside from the fact that I haven't been posting much lately. I'm getting a new keyboard, a wireless one. Side note, although getting a new keyboard wasn't that big of a deal, but the reason why I wasn't getting one was because getting a new keyboard has never been on top of my list. Maybe I just didn't give it much priority. I wanted to buy the K95 Plus, but then it's not wireless. I like Logitech Craft, but it goes for almost twice the price in India, which it absolutely isn't worth for. I've been stuck in the limbo, and that leaves me with this keyboard for 3 years. But now that I made my mind, I was certain I wanted a wireless keyboard. The best looking wireless keyboard that is inexpensive, low price, low cost, economic. There were the obvious one like these from Logitech, but not a single one I could find that had some distinct look and was wireless too. Just cause I want something inexpensive doesn't mean it has to be boring. It was then it crossed my mind, why not just look if these guys make any? There it was, a cool looking, distinctive, wireless keyboard, yet for rupees 1500 only, which roughly translates to about $20. There I had it. Boom. I reached out to them and they were cool enough to send one out to me. Even though I've never been a fan of Round KeyCaps, but let's see. Hey, what's up guys, Aditya here. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Done? Alright, let's get started. It is a full-sized keyboard, meaning it has a number pad, which is both a blessing and a curse. There is not much to know about this keyboard. It's just a good looking inexpensive wireless keyboard, and the short and sweet of it is that yes, I recommend this keyboard because I don't think there's any better looking keyboard that happens to be wireless and comes well under $20 or 1500 Indian rupees. The buying link to the keyboard is in the description. There might be some sale going on, but anyway, buy it from our link as it helps support the channel without costing you any extra. Now if you wanna know more about this keyboard, keep on watching. You get this one proprietary USB wireless receiver for both the keyboard and mouse. Yes, you do get a mouse with it. Oh wait, seems like I almost forgot to show what you get inside the box. So there's the keyboard, the mouse, and this little thing, which I don't know where this came from. The good thing here is that the batteries are included in the box, so you don't have to go and buy one. It's not actually that bad though. But the first time it took me a while to get this keyboard working, so maybe you gotta repeat what I'm about to show you. So you put the batteries in, it takes 2 AAA batteries, then plug in the wireless receiver, and that's pretty much it. There's no key to turn this thing on, so I'm guessing it does that on its own. Also, I keep this thing always plugged in, so I'm always ready to roll. Turn the computer on or off, it's always connected. Put the PC to sleep and wake it back up, still the keyboard stays connected and responds almost instantaneously every single time. So far, no issues. Now to turn the keyboard off, well, you can't. Remember I said there's no power switch? I wasn't kidding actually. But I don't think that's been an issue for me. Needless to say, it turns itself off when it doesn't sense any press for more than 5 minutes, and pressing any key turns the keyboard back on. Now I know you all are wondering about the battery life. I'll get to that in a minute, but before, let's talk about the design. This is where they pretty much nailed it. The keyboard straight up looks from 80s or 90s. It gives you all those typewriter feels. I mean, as far the design goes, I think it is. Do I need to say anything more about the design? The build is below average at best is what I can describe, but the material they used is all plastic. The really cheap one. I wonder if they could have gone even lower, but chose not to in that case. Now I know at this price it may not have been possible to use better materials, something like metal or even high quality plastic as opposed to this plastic, but all I want to say is that everything is pretty acceptable besides this plastic base or plate. It is so plastic that the surface gets scratched on its own as it's of so low quality. But again, that's something which would barely be visible. That being said though, it doesn't mean that it cannot be seen. It can absolutely be seen, but from a certain angle. At times it shines and shows reflection, which kinda look cheap. Please change it and make it little less shinier, and maybe use some high quality plastic stuff down there, because it shows scratches and the dust that sits under, which is damn noticeable. And what is this? Was this last minute painted? These are the kind of details you generally trade off when buying inexpensive, or should I say too much for too less. These indicators look really dull. The keys are particularly loud. The round keycap might take some getting used to, although I don't think that it makes a substantial difference. I've been using it for more than 5 months now. I've got the hang of it and it feels quite natural to me. The key travel is little more than I like, although it feels satisfying to press, but could be something I say on the higher side, which I'm not a fan of. The range is up to 10 meters, and because I usually use it on my desk, so I haven't faced any issue with that yet. As I said before, it takes 2 AAA batteries, and I have been using it for over 4 months straight for about 12 hours a day, so I'd say it's pretty great. There's one more thing I'd like to mention here. If anyone from Astrum is watching this video, please pay a little attention here. This logo on the spacebar, please take it off, remove it, and just don't put any sort of branding, at least on the top of the keyboard. Look how good it looks without any branding. The grip is pretty solid. Just letting you know, after a week or two the grip may not feel as tight, but all you have to do is clean it a little and it's again back in its normal shape. And that is pretty much it there is to this keyboard. But no, how can we not talk about the cons? The keys are all shaky and loose, could have been a little snug. These are the things that you generally trade off while buying cheap, so yeah. The keys are not backlit. Well, this is one noisy keyboard. If you want something silent, then this is definitely not the one for you. The travel makes it a little less comfortable to type as it requires more than usual pressure to register a press, which can easily fatigue the fingers quite quickly. Although I won't consider this as a con as I have gotten used to these round keycaps. So, great keyboard, buy it for the design, the looks, and for the wireless goodness, of course. I wouldn't recommend this to someone who types a lot though, because one, it's loud AF. Two, I've noticed that my fingers tend to fatigue faster than usual while typing. Maybe it's due to the high travel, because these are no mechanical keys, it's just plain simple membrane keyboard. So but if you are a casual person, the only time who uses a keyboard is to type a URL or to leave some awesome comments like these, then I don't think you should even mind. Also, the typewriter sound you get off this is fun for first few days, but then it gets annoying. Mostly during the night time when you are the loudest person in the house at 12 am, making noise through some keyboard, and probably not a good idea. Sometimes the noise is just so loud and distracting that oftentimes when I write something or when I'm scripting, it completely sets me off and I couldn't concentrate at all. So there's that. But at the end of the day, at this price, what else to expect? It works, it's wireless, and looks good. I'll say buy it for the looks. You'll definitely get some compliments. Retro, round keycaps. These are both comfortable and trendy. You get a mouse free, by the way, as this is a combo. Oh, if you want something even cheaper, I also bought this from Logitech just to check if it's any better. Spoiler alert, it is not. It's a plain simple wireless keyboard that works. Nothing fancy. That's it. Not something I would use as a daily driver though. You can also look at these from Dell. I think it could be a good choice as it seemed to have those chiclet style keys which tend to be a lot quieter and easier to type as opposed to these membrane ones. If you like the feel of laptop keyboards, then this is something you can also check out. By the way, buying links to all the keyboards I talked about in this video is in the description. So if you want to buy any of the keyboard, just head on to description and you'll get links to all the keyboards there. Alright, that is pretty much it to this video, I guess. Like if you liked this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave some witty and awesome comments if you wanna get a shout out in my next video. Till then, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter or basically all the social media. And that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, comment. Am I going to switch to any other keyboard anytime soon?